Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Napoleon, and today we're covering another weapon, and this time it's a Battle Pass weapon that we just recently got, or for those who don't know, the new Battle Pass has just been released, and yes, we are getting a new weapon, and this is the S-18-100. For those who don't know, this is a pretty interesting weapon, and this is because it's a 20mm anti-tank weapon that is semi-automatic, but there is a caveat, and that is the fact that you have to use this while prone or braced. So without further ado, let's get started with this video. The S-18-100, or Solotrum, was a 20mm anti-tank rifle developed by both Switzerland and German manufacturers during World War II. This is a semi-automatic bullpup design and a weapon that fired 20 by 105mm belt-fed ammunition, resulting in heavy recoil, making it difficult to transport. It was fed by either a 5 or more commonly 10-round clip, in which in-game it's a 10-round clip. This rifle shared its ammunition with the S-18-350 aircraft cannon, which was based on the S-18's design. According to Finnish sources, which this gun was used by the Finns eventually, this likely fired a Hungarian AP-HET round which could penetrate 20mm armor with a 60-degree angle at 100 meters and 16mm at 500 meters. In March of 1940, the Soviets acquired 12 of the S-18-154 rifles with Swiss donations intended for the Winter War. Although they arrived quickly in the conflict also did end, and they were used in the continuation war. The rifles became outdated against improved armor, and various S-18 models, including the S-18-1000 and the S-18-1100, was used by Switzerland, Hungary, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. The company itself was owned by German Rheinmetall and serves as a convenient post-war World War I arms restriction on German manufacturers. So, that said, let's move on to the stats. This thing has a hit power of 230. Yes, so if you touch the person with a shot, he is practically dead. Like, even if the shot bounces off and hits the person, then he's dead. Because this is, once again, a 20mm round. That said, this thing has a muzzle velocity of 920, rate of fire of 100 for a semi-automatic anti-tank gun. It's pretty good. Reload time of 3.2, which is on the slow slide, but at the same time, it's on the slow slide for a semi-automatic rifle. This is a semi-automatic anti-tank rifle. And you have the vertical recoil of 256, which is once again very high. But once again, this is 20mm, and the horizontal recoil is 64. The 10-round magazine is pretty unique. And there is the caveat, which is the fact that this thing can be only used prone or braced, which means that you essentially have to get on the ground or brace against something that can hold this gun. And without further ado, let's move on to the verdict. And the verdict is simple. This against anti-tanks at this tier, which is tier 2 by the way, is very effective. This, if penetrate, can essentially down tanks really quick, and it usually results in just 1 or 2 hits. Or if you are very unlucky, just spam out the shots, and usually every single hit will just do so much damage that this thing will just, well, explode the tank almost automatically. That said, the other issue is the fact that this thing needs to be braced, or you need to literally have to be prone to use this thing, which is not a bad thing, except for the fact that against infantry, which is something you want to use this against infantry, it's not the best idea, considering the fact that against infantry, you tend to be running around, which is my playstyle at least, and what ends up happening is that you literally have to be braced or prone to fire this weapon, which results in some interesting occurrences in which you need to break this thing, but the enemy are firing at you, which is not fun. That said, this is almost compared to the Barrett, which is an American anti-material rifle, which is pretty much this thing exactly, and this is literally pretty interesting and almost the same as the M82 Barrett, which is insane. That said, this is my opinions of the video. An anti-material rifle that is actually insane, but the only thing that's hampering it, of course, is the ability to not be able to run with it quickly, and the fact that you have to be prone or brace for this thing to fire, and of course, the fact that you essentially do have to be playing on the defensive or far away from the combat. So hence, my recap of this is a pretty good weapon, but it's very situational, and you have to know with this weapon to play it well. That's it, without further ado, this is all for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.